He was known as the wickedest man on earth, the black magician who wrote the Book of Law. He was born October 12, 1975, named after his father Edward, which he'll later soon change his name to Aliester Crowley. His father believed in the Plymouth of the Brethren, and his mother was very strict. Then later, when his father died, they moved to his uncle Bishop's, where he finally had freedom. And he loved to do mountain climbing, so he later began to travel to the Alps. He met a magician named Robert Dunstan, who gave him 5 blood-soaked ties from the murders that he committed at the chapels. This is where Crowley would learn that he was interested in black magic. He got introduced to the Golden Dawn Society, where he won't be making it into the Second Order due to his black magic rituals. He then in Paris meets a woman named Rose. Together they took up to the king's chambers of the Great Pyramids. He evokes his guardian angel, Iwis, in his rituals, and he also invokes falcon-headed Egyptian god. For the next 4 days, on April 8th, he would receive messages from Iwis through Rose, until he finishes, then later becomes his doctrine, the Book of the Law. He went on to write the Equinox too. He later met Mary Dempsey, who had an affair with him, and she also had a 13-year-old son, Preston Sturges, who becomes Hollywood's most influential film director of that time. After the affair, he becomes Grand Master General Baphomet of the ODO Society. Then war broke out in Europe, just as his book, the Book of the Law, had prophesied. When he moved to Sicily, he had a disciple, Raoul, and his wife, Betty May. He soon dies from drinking cat's blood during all the rituals, and Betty May had took this to an article and had it written, where he would be known as the wickedest man on earth. He would then be back in Paris, broke on the streets, until a Frank Harris brought him into his home. There lived a woman named Pauline. She ended up pregnant with Crowley's child. Left for the USA, child would later be known as Barbara Pierce, who then married a George W. Bush. Later, they had a child, which was our 43rd president, George W. Bush Jr. Crowley became head of ODO, published his book Magic. With all his horrifying rituals, the country gave him 24 hours to leave the country or face imprisonment. He later then died, a heroin addict from poor health, at 72 years old. On December 1st, 1947, his last words were, "I am perplexed." But just as human as us, he met his demise.